You'd never know it from watching the mainstream media, but every January 22nd, over 100,000 Americans of all ages gather in Washington, D.C. in the largest continuing peaceful protest in American history and probably in world history. For 35 years, millions of pro-life Americans have protested the decision that legalized abortion in the United States. The largest continuing Holocaust in American history has cost an estimated 50 million American lives to date. The march memorializes the infants who have been lost and protests the continuing refusal of the Supreme Court to overturn this terrible decision. I've been to many of these marches, and I've noticed over time two things. The marches have gotten steadfastly larger over time as more and more Americans come out in peaceful protest of abortion. But the marches have also gotten younger over time. More and more young people in their teens, in their early 20s, are coming out to protest the killing of their unborn brothers and sisters. They're the future of the pro-life movement in the United States, and the future is now.
So often, the pro-life movement is branded as being old-fashioned, out of touch, and narrow-minded. Pro-choicers are constantly telling us that the youth of the United States agree with them, and that they stand for abortion, euthanasia, and so-called reproductive rights. What better place to prove them wrong than here, at the annual March for Life, where every year tens of thousands of young people, themselves survivors of the Roe v. Wade decision of 1973, join with parents and grandparents to march in defense of everyone's right to life. We're going to take some time to talk to these young people and find out why they are pro-life and not pro-choice. I'm Joe Powell from the Population Research Institute. A lot of people are saying that the young people of America are all pro-choice. We know that's not true, so we wanted to get some people to go on the record and say so. It's really cold. It's always cold when we march. What keeps you coming out here despite the cold?
Well, what keeps me coming, I hate abortion, and it's got to stop in America, and Trinity Catholic's here to represent. Yeah. We love babies!
I don't want to kill babies. I love babies.
I can't see myself being pro-choice. It's murder. I mean, it's no different than going up to someone and shooting them in their face.
I believe that life begins at conception and that every human has a God-given right to be born.
I believe that a baby is a life from the moment of conception.
I think it's for our voices to be heard and let people know that we don't think it's okay for abortion to be happening, that it needs to end and that it's wrong, and that we know it so other people should know it too.
A baby should always have the right to life, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I'm pro-life because I have a lot of friends who's been through it, and I know they do regret it, and then they become pro-life, and I think it's wrong in the first place to even do it because there's other choices like giving up the baby for adoption to a family that can really take care of it.
I'm just here to march for life. I mean, nothing will stop me.
You just got to get your voice out here because sometime, sooner or later, it's going to be heard.
And just keep speaking out and talking about it.
If my mom wasn't pro-life, I wouldn't be here. So, and neither would anybody around here.
We're all pro-life, for sure. No doubt about it.
Who says I can kill someone just because it's inconvenient for me? Well, 'cause it's kind of inconvenient for them. You're ending their life.
All Christians should be pro-life just because it goes against God's will of creation.
A lot of people think that young Americans are all pro-choice, but we're not, so we need to make sure that our voice is heard and that people hear us.
We're here to come out with everyone else and make our voices heard and try to convince everyone that our voices really do matter.
I think the youth of America have to be that spirit of joy. When they're here together, predominantly it's not a sad march, it's a joy-filled march. So that's the voice they have to be, I think, that life is joy, joy is life.
I was born in 1989 and I know that part of my generation is missing, and that really saddens me, and I don't want the future generations to be missing out on people who are aborted.